your topic?
The topic is sexual health and sexual responsibility. That's why I said listener discretion is advised. All righty. Thank you for joining me, Lyne't Gray, on the Lyne't Gray Show tonight. Today is Tuesday, July 24th, and I'm coming to you live. And our subject for tonight. Oh, let me do my call letters. Hey, y'all, how y'all doing? You're listening to me on KUAW, Knowledge, Understanding, and Wisdom, Kansas City's global community radio station. You can listen by typing in the letters KUAW to Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and TuneIn app. Our email is kuaw985@gmail.com. Our telephone number. I would love to have callers for this show. I got a lot of anonymous questions. Well, they're not anonymous that they sent them to me, but they didn't want their name mentioned. But I would like to have callers and have a good discussion. Telephone number is 816-599-6893. The website is kuaw.org. And you're listening right now on Facebook on KUAW-LP FM 985. So Larry Paul FM Radio 985. I'm just going to jump into it today, and I'm going to give my disclaimer again. This is the Lyne't Gray Show with Lyne't Gray, and we're discussing sexual health and sexual responsibility. I am asking all listeners to please be advised. Do not let your children listen to this show. If you don't want your children to have or you don't think they're ready to have an in-depth discussion about sex and other things about sexual health and sexual responsibility, please do not play this show where they can hear. We're really going to go in depth on some things, and I want to make sure that everyone is clear that this is not a show for children. Listener discretion is advised. Again, please call in with your questions or even your comments, your expert comments. No question is a dumb question when it comes to this. Call in numbers 816-599-6893. As usual, you all are going to see me looking at what looks like I'm playing with my phone, but I'm actually inviting people. Can't wait till Facebook stops inviting people via their inbox, but it's the only way to remind people that my show is on the air. We're going to start with the sexual responsibility part. I went down to the health department today to get some statistics, and she forwarded me to a website. Now, the HIV in Kansas City is on the rise, but I noticed here's the crazy thing. It rises during the warm months, and during all of the STIs and STDs, they rise during the warm months. Why can I not talk? They rise during the warm months and during what seems like the holidays. So that is something to I got statistics for Jackson County, Clay County, Platte County, and Cass County. So I'm just going to start with these statistics. This show was brought about because I was having a conversation with a lady about sex, and some of the things she was saying was making me cringe. And she's 44 and I'm 42. And I realized that some people either didn't pay attention in sex ed in school, Some people didn't care. Some people's parents, I don't know what happened, but some of the things she was saying should never have been said. Um, I'm going to just give you the statistics for Jackson, Clay, Platt, and Cass for chlamydia, gonorrhea, and syphilis starting in January, February, March, April, and May. May is the last month of 2018 that they have available statistics for. For Jackson County, gonorrhea, we're going to start with chlamydia. 594 people in January were diagnosed. These are diagnoses, actual numbers. In February, 480. March, 493. April, 480. And May, 583. Gonorrhea, 380 people. In January, 224. In February, 271. In March, 208 in April, and 278 in May. Syphilis, 35 people in January, 18 in February, 30 in March, 22 in April, and 25 in May. For Clay County, now you all know that Clay and Cass are not as big as Jackson County, but their numbers are still staggering for their size. Clay County, the chlamydia rates were January 99, February 105, March 99, April 74, and May 111. Their gonorrhea rates were January 41, February 41, good, it held steady, didn't climb. March 35, April 26, and May 35. And their syphilis rates were, which is staggering for as small as Clay County is, January 10, February 2, March 3, April 3, and May 1. County, their chlamydia rates, January 48, February 28, March 23, April 38, and May 34. Their gonorrhea rates were January 20 people, February 12, March was 5, which is an amazing drop, but watch this, y'all. April 16 and May 7. Their syphilis was January none, 0. February 6 people, March 1 person, April 1 person, May 2 people. Cass County, their chlamydia rates in January were 38, February 34, March 32, April 21, May 29. Gonorrhea was 12, February 14, March 17, April 8, and May 7. And their syphilis was January 1, February 1 person, March 2 people, April 1 person, and May. They didn't have a listing for any. You all, those numbers should make everybody cringe. And the reason being, these are only the people who went in and got tested. So at some point in time, y'all, we have to have a responsible dialogue. We have to be responsible with our bodies. We have to understand. Now, y'all, I didn't want to depress nobody, so I wasn't going to read y'all these HIV rates. But this is scary. This is beyond not just scary, but depressing. We have to be responsible. And this is just, remember, I called off Jackson, Clay, Platte, and Cass counties in the state of Missouri. I did not call off anything Johnson, Wyandotte, Jackson County in Kansas. I didn't call off any other counties. So you have to remember, those are just the people who walked in to get tested. One of the crazy things I found out from talking to people is that people don't go get tested. I had someone tell me, oh, I only get tested for HIV to make sure that I don't catch HIV and AIDS, but I don't test for anything else. And I've heard people, a lot of people have a blank stare, and they look at me with a blank stare when I tell them, you know, a woman can get what they call pelvic inflammatory disease. And pelvic inflammatory disease is from not getting tested. And what happens is it renders you infertile because you've had some sexually transmitted disease that is spread up into your fallopian tubes. And I'm like laughing like, haha, it's funny. I'm like, man, y'all don't know how serious this is. And a lot of people won't tell you that a lot of their infertility problems have come from pelvic inflammatory disease because the scar tissue formed because they had infection in their tubes for so long. So y'all, we gonna have us a good old fashioned talk. And I feel like I can have this talk now because I'm a mama. But nah, I tell people I'm not shy about this subject. I have 6 children. When I talk to all of my children, I sit down and my first questions to them are, how many kids did your mom have? And they'll say, you have 6. How many kids do your friends have? None. Who do you think you should talk to about sex? You. Okay. Now that we got that out the way, don't listen to nobody else. And then I go into details. My daughter asked me, she probably this is a funny story. We were driving down the street and I think my daughter was in like 3rd grade and I was pregnant. I forget what grade she was in, but I'd already had this talk with her, but I guess little kids just don't care. And I was pregnant and she stops and we were driving down the street and she goes, we were right by Zion Grove. I never forget this because I feel like cringing every time I think about it. And she goes, Mom. I said, what? She says, where do babies come from? Oh, Lord, my daughter, my only girl, she's asking me this. So what I did was I carefully explained to her how babies were made. I carefully explained to her how they were born. And this child looks at me and goes, oh, I wasn't talking about that. I was asking, like, are they angels in heaven before they get here? So, y'all, I literally, like, really had the talk with my daughter in a car driving down the street. And she was just like, oh, my God, I didn't want to know all that, Mom. I was just like, are they angels before they get here? But that right there, thank you, baby girl. I love you, Mama. Love you, Tank, because she prepared me to have the talk with anybody. At first, I was like, this doesn't make any sense, these grown folks, because I got sent a lot of questions. And the questions are to be read anonymous. And at first, I was judging people. I was like, oh, it doesn't make any sense. These grown folks don't know about sex. How could you ask such a question? But I realized no question is a dumb question. So let's just jump right into it. The first thing we're going to start is, because I read off the diseases, we're going to start with condoms. Yes, we need to start protecting ourselves, people, please. Yeah, I mean, and wear them the right way. Okay, here's the first thing. What are all the excuses? Hold on. I'm going to give you all the reasons. The CDC was so awesome. I'm going to give you many of the reasons that people give for not using condoms, prophylaxis. Number 1, they lack sexual spontaneity, which means they cannot just get it in as soon as they get on a whim, because you have to have a condom. You got to put it on. It'll kill the mood, this, and the other. That's BS. One of the other ones was the unpleasant taste and smell of them. I mean, but would you rather have to deal with that than have to deal with taking medicine or, having physical issues? I don't know. The reduction of sexual pleasure for both men and women. Men, I'm going to teach y'all a trick about that tonight. Listen up. Don't leave. I'm going to save that trick for the end for you men. And believe me, it works. I've been told that it works. I don't know, because I ain't a man. So, the men say loss of erection. I don't know about that. May be considered as mistrusting or infidelity in relationships. So a lot of times in relationships, if a partner asks you to wear a condom and you're like, why? Are you cheating, or you think I'm cheating? And it's just that foolishness that, come on, y'all. And then fear of being identified as high risk, which I didn't know this statistic. Fear of being identified as high risk or as a part of a stigmatized population, like an IV drug user or any kind of drug user, or if someone is the high risk part. I'm gonna tell you all a story, which I see all the time because I always go in and I personally keep condoms. And the reason I do is I'm a single woman. You never know what's going to happen, even though now I've since March or whatever, I've said that I'm going to be celibate. I'm going to be abstinent because me and God got this understanding, y'all. So, but I have no problem since I had my daughter, since I gave birth to my daughter, I would have no problem with going into the store and purchasing condoms off of the shelf. And you would be surprised how many of my friends and some family members, females, who walk in and are scared to buy condoms off the shelf. It's like, okay, you know you're having sex. I would rather you be safe. I wouldn't care what anybody says about seeing me buy a big old box of condoms. I can buy them. I don't use them. I mean, I get the big old like 48 pack. I'm single. I mean, really, I don't use that many, but I like to keep them. But I was at Walmart, and once again, and this is different nationalities of women. I'm standing over there next to the condoms. I wasn't even looking at the condoms this time. I think I don't know what's over there, but I was over there, and the women, grown women, are sneaking and buying condoms. And this time I actually asked the woman, I said, do you want me to buy those for you and then turn around and hand them to you? And she was like, oh, please, would you? And this woman is in her 30s. We cannot be ashamed of protecting our bodies. We just can't, y'all. That's not okay. It At our age, at any age, for real, after 16 now, who expects anybody to be a virgin anymore? I mean, I know there are some people who are, because I was one till I was 17, but who really expects it now in our generation? So no one should be afraid or ashamed to buy condoms. Our children should easily know where to access them. One thing that I will give kudos in my former marriage, our children knew where to access them. As a mother, I was given kudos at Planned Parenthood by the doctor, because I wanted my daughter to feel like she could go to the doctor without me. And my daughter was not having sex, and I took her to go get birth control at 17 to get her checkup and get birth control. Why? Because I knew that my baby had a future ahead of her, and she was not ready for a baby. Even though I had been raising kids since I was like 12, probably younger than that, she wasn't ready for that. And so I made sure that my daughter knew where to go to be healthy sexually and to be responsible. And the doctor told me that in her years of doing it, I think I was only like the second mother. She was like, why are you bringing your daughter up here? I said, because I just want my daughter to be responsible. I had her when she was 17. The woman said she'd never seen that. Now I'm back to the condoms. Many men complain that they don't wear condoms because condoms are restricting, or they're too small, or something of that nature. First off, y'all, we're going to have to get into connigulus and fellatio. I found out you can use those words on the FCC and not be fine. So we're not going to call it what everybody else calls it. And if you want to find out what it is, these are the oral parts of sex. Connigulus, however you say that word. You tell I don't even use it. And fellatio. The first thing is dental dams for men, or just simply, I know a lot of women gonna complain, simple, like they said, use cling wrap, plastic wrap. It stops you from catching diseases in your mouth. We have to understand, this generation has found every which way to not get pregnant or claim that they're safe from STDs, and you're not. You can catch stuff in your throat. I mean, come on, people, we got to get real with it. You can catch stuff in your throat. And so this is why condoms are very important. For the men who are pleasuring women, you need to get dental dams, or just go in their cabinet and get some plastic wrap. Protect yourself. I mean, I can't tell people to stop just having sex with people they don't know. I hear all the time that guys go to a club and leave the club with a woman. I'm not that kind. I don't judge nobody. Do you? But it's just, I'm not that trusting, because in the back of my head, I will be thinking this man is going to try to kill me when we're done. So I mean, that's just me, y'all. Ignore me. I've had bad experiences with men, so I can't really trust that. But if you're going to be doing all of that, I was watching The Breakfast Club, and Charlemagne asked Tech Nine about performing connigulus on the groupies, and Tech Nine was like, ugh. You don't put your mouth on them. And he and I think the same way. You don't put your mouth on folk. You gotta, come on now. But every different strokes for different folks. So I just want you all to be safe. For women who are given fellatio, start using condoms. Don't let a man talk you into doing it. You don't know this man. Why are you putting your mouth on this man? You don't know where this man just was at right before he went to the club. And I found out something, because I'm a lady truck driver. As gross as it may sound, some men hop up out the bed, put their clothes on, and go. Really, dude? So you just not gonna bathe? And they're like, oh, that's like a man thing. Really, dude? So you just not gonna bathe. So then y'all meeting these men, grocery store club. I don't know where you meeting them. And y'all are doing that. And he literally has not washed the other woman off of him. So we just gotta be safe, y'all. I'm not trying to be like, because I'm an adult and I have 6 kids. So y'all know I like sex. But I just want us to be safe. I want us to be responsible with it. We have to be responsible. Um, those who say that they're allergic to condoms, I am. I use them anyway. My daughter is. She uses them. But for those who are allergic to condoms, I had someone, I was talking to her and we were talking about this subject and she was like, well, girl, I can't use condoms, but she has more than one sexual partner. So that kind of made me nervous. And I'm like, so you don't use condoms with anybody you sleep with? And she's like, no. I'm like, do you make them go get tested and you sit there and look at their results with them? She's like, no. Okay, sis. So you're in danger. But for those, y'all know where to go find them. Regular latex condoms and things like that. For those who are allergic to condoms, you want to go to omg.com and they have vegan condoms. Vegan condoms are made without, I think they said without the lactose, and a lot of them have they're just, you don't have to worry about the allergies that you would have to worry about. And they come in all sizes. Another website that I actually discovered while I was married was Lucky Bloke, Lucky, B as in boy, L as in Larry, OKE.com, Lucky Bloke. And you can actually order like trial packs of condoms to decide which one you like best, which one fits the best. And you don't have to be stuck with certain condoms. And they have specialty condom manufacturers for guys who are like superiorly endowed, and they won't have to go without, they won't have to put their lives in danger. You can also look up condoms on the condomreview.com, thecondomreview.com. Ladies, if you want to take special care, they have female condoms. They are just like a male condom, and you insert it like a tampon and you're protected. That's something to look for, to make sure that you're protected. Like I said, we're just going to keep rolling along. Hold on, because I had written something down, and I needed to jump to that after the condoms. So, and let me see. Okay, now that we've discussed the STDs, now that we've discussed, yes, listener discretion is advised. Now that we've discussed the STDs, now that we've discussed condoms and where you get the condoms from, and nobody has an excuse anymore because I've given you where you can go get vegan condoms. I got 2 men in the studio and they are just like laughing, but I mean, I just want everyone to be safe and healthy. You can get your vegan condoms from omg.com. We're going to discuss something that a lot of people have not discussed. This is very taboo, but as a woman, because I saw a meme, and I saw this meme being spread on at least 15 to 20 pages that are connected with my page. This meme said, if a man's sex was trash, they just lay there and let him finish so he can hurry up. Y'all. What? I'm like, we got 3 minutes. So if I don't get to the point within 3 minutes, I'm going to come back at the end of this 3 minutes. But this is women. We have to take control of our bodies. We have to take control. If you don't know what pleases you, then how is he going to know what pleases you? And why in the world would you disrespect your body and just lay there? And men, and I've said it before in a live video, men want to make sure they're not doing, some men are. I mean, I feel bad for y'all who got them selfish men. I've met women who've never had an orgasm. I would like jump off of the Paseo Bridge. I honestly would if I ever had to deal with that. And these women are married to me. And I'm like, I'm sorry you having selfish sex. I really am. But we women, we have to know our bodies. How would you know what feels good how does he know if you don't know? So the next thing we're going to address is masturbation. Okay, I've said it. Everybody just makes it seem like it's such a bad thing. You got to know your body. You got to know what feels good to your body. You have to know. Sometimes your man could just be, and you like, okay, I'm not gonna. Well, I'll just use you as a human doll. You just lay there. You don't care. But I mean, it's just we have to know our bodies. We cannot be afraid of our bodies. You have to understand how you function. So, ladies, what I'm telling you is, and there is a stigma on that because it's considered lascivious, I guess, when it comes to religion or whatever. I don't know what's wrong with it, but I look at it like this, and I'm like Jada Pinkett Smith. I had to teach myself that's not okay to have to do that every time before you go somewhere. That's a problem. Why are you doing it so much? But as a woman, I understand my body. I can take control of my body, and I've yet to have a, how do I put this? I've yet to have a bad experience that I was a willing participant. Put it like that. Where that's another show for another day. But so you cannot. And every time I see these memes about guys and sex and this, that, and the other, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I cringe because I'm like, you're making yourself look bad. You really are, ladies. You just let somebody and you're just gonna sit there like nothing's wrong. At 8:30 we're going to break because I'm gonna come back, but you're just gonna sit there like nothing's wrong and just let him finish, like Missa. I'm gonna let Missa do his thing on The Color Purple. That's what I picture every time I see that meme. He just get on top of me and do his business. Let me stop, y'all. But that's what I picture, and we got to grow up, y'all. We have to grow up. We are grown folks having sex. How in the world are we grown folks having sex? And we can't be. This is crazy. We're gonna go to break, and I'm gonna come back. the female ejaculation, every woman should do that. I've said this before. Everybody is prepared to put up but that should definitely okay. That should female ejaculation should definitely happen for every woman. It's the S word. It cannot be used on FM radio. So just type in female ejaculation if you don't know what I'm talking about, and you will see what. Don't click on any pictures, y'all. Just type it in and let the words pop up. Please do not click on any pictures. But female ejaculation, every woman can do this, just like every man ejaculates. Every woman does. I didn't know that women didn't do this. This is something natural that's for me. Since I don't know. I mean, so that's just, we're just keeping it real and we're being honest about this. And so now we're going to move over to male orgasms. This is so, I learned a lot about men because this is some stuff I didn't know. You said FCC don't like this topic. Evidently they don't. They try to shut it down, but we're going to educate some people. Hi, Blair. That's baby Straw Hat Mama. That's my daughter. And my other daughter, Aviance, is watching too. Hi, Aviance. Hi, baby General. So we're going to talk about male orgasms. Standard male orgasms are the ejaculation, which everyone knows. That's what men go through. The second one, which I thought was neat. I never knew this happened. So if men can give their input, you know, thumbs up when I say this or whatever, let me know if you all know this and you've experienced this. The second male orgasm is called orgasm, where a man holds his orgasm and sends the energy rushing back into his pelvis. They claim that that is like an amazing orgasm for men. I didn't know y'all could do that. That sounds neat. The next one is the prostate orgasm. This one right here is like the prostate exam, but you have to relax. But they said the prostate orgasm is for men who, you know, y'all just trying something different. They said it's either done with a finger or a toy, and the man must be fully relaxed. I'm sure he must be fully relaxed because that would probably be painful. The blended orgasm, like women have blended orgasms, which last 1 to 15 minutes, which is the clitoral and the vaginal. The blended orgasm for men are the prostate and the ejaculatory. Those are considered the whole body orgasms for men. Check this out, because I've always heard men give the excuse that once they get that one, then the next one isn't as powerful. Ha ha, that's a lie. I just busted y'all on y'all lie. Science proves that that's a lie. Anyway, here we go. So it's called multiple ejaculatory control. Ha ha. Ladies, take notes because they ain't got no more excuses. Now I'm gonna get down to how to get them to this point too. Number one, ejaculatory control. How do they get it? By learning how to control ejaculation, by holding it off. That's number one. They learn how to hold it off. They don't, you know, they learn how to fight that. I'm getting to it right. You know, I'm getting to it right. Don't play. You know how it gets down. Number two, men, did y'all know y'all could do Kegel exercises? I didn't know that either. I thought Kegels were only for women. So now y'all got to look up how to do it. Get on YouTube, go ask your doctor. I don't know. But Kegel exercises, if you do them 2 to 3 times a day until you can hold your ejaculation for 20 seconds each time, you've held it long enough to be able to pull yourself back from the edge, which means you're about to go and you're like, no, I ain't done. And you can pull yourself back from the edge. That is another way to get multiple, they call it multiple ejaculatory control. You have to do those Kegel exercises daily. That's a must. They said, here's the crazy thing. They said you cannot watch porn while you're doing this because porn messes with your mind control. You don't have control. You're just going off of what you see, but you have to be able to mentally control. It's a mind body connection. They say you let yourself get to, men, I'm talking to y'all, you let yourself get to a 9.5 out of 10. And then you use the Kegel exercise stuff that you learn to bring yourself back down to a 5 to 7. Here's the amazing thing I learned. I learned this from talking to a urologist, I think he was a urologist. And I left all their cards because I was going to read their cards off. Men can separate ejaculations and orgasms. What? I did not know that. The man told me just because you have an orgasm does not mean you have to ejaculate. Okay, ladies, see, I told y'all they can go longer than what they claim. They just got to practice. That's all it is to it. And they have to train their bodies for the separate experience. So who on here cussing? First off, we don't cuss on my show. I cuss when I get off of air. Hey, if Lyne't can't cuss for an hour a week, y'all can't cuss either. And I tell people I got a mouth like a truck driver because I am a truck driver. So y'all, if I can't cuss, y'all can't cuss. That's all it is to it. Especially for this hour. Come on, y'all. Help us out. Help us out. Because half of y'all wouldn't even like me if y'all talk to me on a regular basis. Y'all be like, she cussed too much. Anyway, you can find more information. The one doctor, the urologist I went to go see, he's a Black urologist. I got to get his information. But you can find more information on blackdoctor.org for male orgasms and how to achieve them. We've already discussed masturbation, which was at the end of the show. End of the right before the commercial. We were on the subject before we got on female orgasms. We were on the subject of condoms and dental dams and saran wrap. Here's the thing. Some people, and I've heard this, I feel so bad for my ex-husband. I want to make a public apology to my ex-husband for all the boring sex he had to have with me for 17 years because I didn't like him. Because I'm like, now it's like, oh, I feel so bad for dude. I would have cheated on me too. Because I'm like, oh my gosh. Y'all, ladies, we just got to keep it honest. We don't like a man. We don't want him touching us. We don't want to, don't kiss me. Don't touch me. Don't look. Okay. And I would, so I'm just going to apologize to this man publicly. That being said, I still got mine, Yeah. So, but, they said, their mind and their member is connected. Okay. But we have some people who don't have a good diet. And so one of the questions that I was asked from a young lady is she has a boyfriend, and when she gives him fellatio, it tastes really, really nasty, first off. Okay, I'm not judging nobody, but the only thing going in Lyne's mouth is food. But I'm gonna be grown with this, y'all, because this is where I'm like, Jesus, take the wheel. And I don't know. But so I went and I asked a bunch of questions. And that's what I like to do. I like to ask questions and I'm going to ask the very most blunt questions that people are like, oh my God, she's really saying that, because I want to educate people. I want my kids to know, I'm going to give y'all men and women who are into oral sex. There is this tablet that I was told about by a doctor. And write this down, y'all. Matter of fact, Mr. Washington, can you type this tablet? Mr. Washington, my engineer talking. Mr. Washington, can you type this tablet in the comments for people? I'm gonna read it off to you. It's called the letter M, B, E, RRY .US. And the tablets are called M-Berry tablets. M-Berry tablets are those tablets that they just bought out a couple of years ago. They're named after, like, it's some kind of natural fruit or nut seed or something that you put on your tongue, and you can like eat lemons and it makes it taste like really, really sweet. That's what they patterned the M-Berry tablet after. So you can put the M-Berry tablet on your tongue and give oral sex, and you won't taste the person's nastiness or whatever it has. I found out that, first off, everybody need to be drinking water. water, flush with a gallon a day. Water, put water in that system. Water clears the system out. Um, so you have to drink water. Hold on. For men, pineapples will pH balance. Okay, I'm gonna read this off for men and women. We got to understand this. This is for men. This is for both sexes to pH balance the body, to make the body taste better. It's called the first thing when you're eating, you have to drink plenty of water. And then you want to drink and eat pineapples. Pineapples pH balance you. One thing I found in my studies is a lot of people say pineapples make you sweeter. No, pineapples pH balance you, so it takes away all taste, all odor, all of that. They've actually done sexual studies with couples that show that pineapples just it doesn't make anything sweeter. It just takes everything. It pH balances the body. There is no taste. There is no smell. Cranberries also pH balance the body. So you want to make sure that if you're sexually active, you're taking in these things. It depends on how sexually active you are. You're sexually active, you want to take them in at least 24 hours before having sex. And you're sexually active every day. When I'm in a relationship, it's every day, 3-4 times a day. I'm just letting whoever know is interested in me. And you can't say that you got to work. I don't care. You better become vegan and get some vitamins. Okay, now that I've done that PSA, I'm just letting everybody know. Now that I've done that PSA, cranberries pH balance the body, and it pH balancing the body takes you from acidic to alkaline, and it pH balance perfect is somewhere 7.0. Celery. And this is one that I knew of, and I tell people get celery and parsley, because my great grandmother was she called it plant-based. She didn't call it a vegan. But plant-based. My great grandmother was plant-based diet, which people try to call vegan now. And she would have us put parsley in our mouth. And she said the chlorophyll from the parsley took away bad breath. And if you sweated and you didn't stink under your arms and all of that. So celery and parsley, I would say make celery juice and make sure you blend your parsley up in it and drink it, because it helps to pH balance the body. Yes, 5.5, but the reason why I said 7 is because you want your body more alkaline at a 7. 5 is still almost acidic, because you do 5.5, 4.5 to 5.5 is considered neutral, but you want your body a little bit higher alkaline, because we have to remember that our blood still remains acidic. So thank you, Ivan Home. I appreciate that. Cinnamon. Now, I didn't get the chance I need someone, if you're looking, to look up the 2 different types of cinnamon. What I need you to type in is cinnamon from Mexico, because that's the real cinnamon. That's the cinnamon you want to take in. And I'm going to tell y'all a secret about all of this once I get done. Cinnamon alkalines the body and it pH balances the body, but you only want to take cinnamon from Mexico, which comes out, I think, the Philippines or something like that, because the cinnamon we buy in the store is not real cinnamon, but it works, but it's not real cinnamon. And then yogurt, of course. Yogurt has its cultures, and all of these things that I'm telling you to do, they alkaline the body and they take the nasty taste out the body. So ladies, you can refuse to give someone fellatio if he does not take this stuff. Why are y'all torturing yourself? I better slap a condom on and let him put it in a condom. I'm serious. Why would you torture yourself like that? I mean, but once again, ladies, we tend to bow down so that our men can be pleased, but we're not looking at our own pleasure. We got to start doing that. You have to be responsible. If you're not going to look at your own pleasure, why are you having sex? What's the point? You're not, your body's not here. God didn't give us pleasure centers for us to only please him. He gave us a bunch of them. He gave them 2. We have technically like 5 different places we can have orgasms from. And so we got to start being mature about it. Ladies, this is the one thing I tell everyone. You have to be, I have a story. I was married. We were newlyweds. We let some people talk us into some whipped cream and some strawberries and some chocolate syrup and all of that. And we were newlyweds. And I wound up with a yeast infection. And because we didn't do it right. And I don't know what, and I got up and washed and everything right before we went into intercourse. But I mean, that stuff doesn't belong down there on the body. So I found out, because I was like, oh my God, we're newlyweds. We didn't have, he had insurance, but we didn't have the money to go run to an ER or something. And I was like, oh my God, the monostatin stuff is so expensive. And an older lady, I was at the store because I'm like tortured by this time. Older lady told me, she said, get 1,000 milligram vitamin C pills. And you take 6 of those bad boys every single day. And you drink cranberry juice, not the ocean spray, but the actual pure cranberry juice that doesn't have any sugar. And you take those vitamin C pills, 6 of them, 6,000 milligrams a day, and drink that bottle of cranberry juice and flush it with water, and that yeast infection's gone. And I'm diabetic, and I'm the only diabetic woman that I know that doesn't have consistent yeast infections, because I've been using that method since before I was diabetic. Needless to say, they didn't stop us from using freaking food. Keep the food from down there, y'all. Food belong on the table. Don't be torturing yourself. Come on now. But you have to make sure that you take care of yourself. These are our bodies. We are adults, people. And the time just flew by. It's 8:51, but the time just flew by. Let me look and see who has any questions or comments. Oh, another thing, and that's I know exactly where I wrote it. Hold on, it's back here. Anal sex. We got to talk about this. Mr. Gathers has left the building. People don't be doing that if you're not comfortable. Don't let nobody talk you into doing that. You can suffer really bad. You can suffer tears, all of that different kind of stuff. And my suggestion to my ex-husband, and the one boyfriend I've had since him, he asked me, and my ex-husband didn't ask. He just, I guess him and some guys was talking about it, and I shut it down. I was like, look, you let me do you, and you can do me. That was the end of asking for that. He never asked for it again. But the guy who I was going out with, had a relationship with earlier this year, he asked me. And I said, okay, so we're going to go to the toy store, and I'm going to get something that size, and I'm going to use it on you. And then you can ask me. So, I mean, that is some people's preference, but don't torture yourself. If that's not your preference, it's okay to say no, y'all. It's okay to say no. Also, before our time is up, don't be afraid to go. Women, tighten it up. You have babies. There are things called jade eggs. Let me give you the link to it before we go. And this is where I get my jade eggs, y'all. So y'all need to, you should be able to lock him down and he can't go nowhere. To be like, let me go. I didn't heard this so many times. Let me go. You ain't going nowhere. Yoni or jade eggs, and you go to genuinejadellc.com. GENUINE JADE, D as in David, LLC.com. You want to get the Nephrite jade eggs. They're calcium and magnesium rich. The reason why I started wearing my jade eggs all the time, I'm wearing them now, is because I need magnesium, because I'm a diabetic, and the magnesium helps leach into the body. It helps with diabetes, but it also keeps it. I've had 6 kids, and I'm not all out of place down there and wide open, because if you don't do those Kegels, if you don't keep those Kegels up, if you don't wear those jade eggs, you will not be as tight as you once were. And you got to keep it tight for yourself so that it don't fall out. I've said this to y'all before. As you get older, I've talked to women who were in their 40s and it fell out. Their vagina fell out. It literally came from the and just because it was so weak. And so we as women and we as men, we have to have these conversations. So make sure that ladies, you go get those jade eggs. You can run a string through it, and you start with they're $154, $156, but you keep them for the rest of your life. So that's the best investment you can make, and you're tightening everything up. It's like working out without working out, but you're keeping everything tight. Let me see what else, because time just flew by. But hopefully this was informative. I want everybody to be able to have an honest conversation about this. We are adults, and adults should not be saying, adult women, we should not be saying, I just let Mr. get on top of me and do his business. No, sir. Because if I'm not pleased, I'm going to roll you over, and I'm going to handle it myself, or I'm going to handle it from the bottom. I'm good at what I do. I just need you there moving. That's it. You ain't even got to move. Just stand still. I'm going to tell the truth and shame the devil. I don't even just need you to be there. So it is Kegels for men and women are a must for sexual health. That's the one thing that I came across. We have to, and yes, Avonda, these statistics that I was giving were for month to month in Jackson, Clay, Platte, and Cass County. You now know you can get vegan condoms from omg.com. You can get the large size condoms. Oh, that trick that I was telling me, and thank you for staying, man. You get some KY jelly, not the thick jelly kind, but the drippy kind that you pour in and you can pour it out. And you drop one drop in the tip of your condom and put the condom on. And it feels like, from what I've heard, because I'm not a man, but it feels like you're not wearing a condom. There you go. Thank you. Y'all can send y'all donations to the Lyne't Gray Show. Care, you send it up to KUAW. I expect I'm putting up a church collection on this one, y'all, because I didn't just have a whole lot of people, and y'all gonna be able to replay this show. And this was for free. A sister normally don't charge, but I don't know how I'm supposed to charge because I ain't no 501c3. So I'm put that on Mr. Walker. But y'all need to donate to KUAW, and I will come back and tell y'all how to donate. So I'm like them Pentecostal preachers. I'm gonna take $20 from everybody for the beginning of the show, and now at the end of the show, we're gonna take $20 again. So that's $40 every person. I'm just playing, y'all. I love y'all. Hopefully this show helped y'all. Please, ladies, the men want to please us. Quit faking it. Quit just laying there. We need to be honest. We need to take control of our bodies. We need to stop acting like we teenage girls that don't know nothing about sex. You're a grown woman. There's no excuse for the reason why you have not had an orgasm. There's no excuse for the reason why you're laying there. There's no excuse for the reason why the man does not know he's pleasing you. He can't know that. Only you know that. This is the Lyne't Gray Show. We're gonna play Chocolate Love on the outro. Once again, y'all, this is Soul Revival featuring Church Boy, Chocolate Love. I love y'all. Y'all take care. Thanks for watching. Huh? Yeah.